Yeah, good to be back. Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I'm so glad to be back. It's been a while since I last recorded a video. Welcome to Honestly Ranting. Okay, let's get right into it. Today we are going to talk about identity. Identity is one thing that talks about who you are and what you are. So these are the two main components that make up identity. Who you are can mean the things that you like, the things that you dislike. It can mean your heritage, it can mean your political affiliation, it can mean the music you like, it can mean the games you like to play, it can mean a lot of things. Basically, a total sum of your likes, what you don't like, and then those things that you don't have control over. Like, for example, your heritage. Those are things that you don't have control over. But all those things come together to make up your identity. But in most cases, you have the biggest part to play when it comes to your identity, especially as you grow up and you start having that chance to make your own decisions. That's when you can also have a part to play in making up your identity. Sometimes the situations around us don't allow us to make our identity or to choose what our identity should be, but then there are those moments whereby you can choose your identity. I think at one point in life we all have a choice to make our identity what we want it to be. Today, I will go personal. I think the first thing I think about when I'm asked, "Who am I?" It's crammed, it's automatic, but I also believe it. It just comes automatically to me that I'm a child of God, and I'm glad for that upbringing. That before I think about being my father's daughter, my biological father's daughter, or my family, I first think about the bigger family that I'm in, which is the family of God. And that has helped me a lot influence my identity, especially in the things whereby I can make my own decision and decide, and I'm like, this should be part of me and that should not be part of me. For example, okay, it's a bit scary to share, but what to lose? I'm here to rant. Let me talk about it. When I was younger, okay, Mendy, calm down. When I was younger, I was not a happy child. I was a child who was gloomy most of the times. I was confused. I was basically, I didn't know how to express my emotions because my parents were very busy managing a big family, and I was the youngest of all the people in the family. So I barely got attention, and at that, I did not know, it wasn't modeled for me how I should express myself in certain situations, how I would take care of certain things, or when I feel angry, I should speak about it, or when I feel sad, I should speak about it, or I should express my happiness in this way. So at the end of the day, I was gloomy, and this gloom at some point turned into being sad. So I would be sad most of the times, and then I would have those episodes of crying alone, and in the process also the fear crept in. All the time I would be scared of things that I don't know, children are scared, but I was scared of weird things. For example, I was too scared of death when I was younger, and all this was a bit creepy. But as I went on growing up, I reached that age where by now I know I'm sure I can make my own choices, and this was around senior 2. When I was in senior 2, I had, okay, I could say colleagues, because I don't think they were my friends. Given my personality, I wasn't able to make friends. So these are people whom I was with in the same class, so they would always have conversations, and I would never contribute because I never knew how to express myself. And at the end of the day, I had grown up in this thing of when the adults are speaking, the younger child doesn't talk. That's how I had been brought up. So I would never talk even when my age mates are talking. So one of those colleagues confronted me and was like, I think for you all the time you're keeping quiet because you're listening to our conversation, and then after that you will go out there and report us. This hit me so hard, and then in the moment I remembered that the joy of the Lord is my strength. And I'm like, the joy of the Lord is my strength, and then I'm not joyful? This can't be. So from that time onwards, I chose that I should be joyful. And when I decided to be joyful, all of a sudden, God was with me in that. And then I started my journey of, I would laugh at anything I would find funny. Actually, I didn't care who said what, when they said it, or what. Like, there was even a time I laughed and someone found it inappropriate, but I didn't care. And I'm sure this happens a lot of times. Sometimes some people think I laugh and it's inappropriate, but please, I'm recovering the years of sadness that I had. So let me laugh it off. Let me laugh it out. And when I made this decision to be happy, when I made that decision to be jolly and have the joy from deep down in my heart, it was very wonderful and amazing. From then I started making friends. I started being able to hold conversations, because I wasn't like, I hadn't been exposed to that art of being able to even hold a conversation, because I was the youngest, no right to speak. Like, you know how African traditional families are. In most cases, when you're young, your place is to be silent until you're with people who are in your age bracket. But unfortunately, I barely had anyone in my age bracket, so it affected me a lot. And from that time when I decided to be joyous, to be happy, it picked up. I was able to make friends. I even got words to speak, and I'm glad that since then I've never turned back, and I can smile. I'm very happy that I have this beautiful smile. Before, it was so hard to see my smile, but I'm grateful for that. That's one thing I did about my identity, and most people who know me from that time on, they know me as a jolly person, and I'm glad about that, and I like that to be my identity, to be identified as a jolly person. That's a good thing for me, and I like it. Yes, and I'm glad I made that decision. But there is also another decision I made that didn't work out regarding my identity. So I'm a bit messy. I really mess up stuff a lot. Like, I can organize my room, put everything in order, and within like 2 hours I've messed up everything. I don't know how I do this. Maybe it's my superpower to be messy. But yeah, I really woke up one day also and I was like, but surely you organize these things and then within an hour you've disorganized everything. So let's get these things organized and make sure we keep them this way. I tried this, but it didn't work out well. I would always be sad most of the time because I'm so conscious. I should make sure everything is in its right place, and it was robbing me of my happiness. It was robbing me of my joy. And I said, you know what? It's okay to be messy. You're not affecting a lot of people. Actually, you're not affecting anyone because you mess your own stuff up. You don't mess other people's things up. So I decided that we shall keep the messy part of Mendy, and here we are. So that's it for me today. The most important thing I want you to learn about this is that you choose what your identity can be. In most cases, apart from the heritage part, I believe and I know that all these other things, you make your own decision, stick by it. So whoever you admire, whatever you admire, there are those characters you admire from other people and you feel like you should adopt them and take them on and they should define you. You go ahead and do that. Make a beautiful personality, make a personality that is attractive. Make a good identity that people can identify you very well. Very, very well. Thank you so much for listening in. It's Mendy, honestly ranting. See you on the next video. Shush.